Good afternoon, guys. You know, when we really become aware of just how powerful we are in our thoughts, our choices, and our actions, and when we understand that we are meant to serve more than just ourselves, we become extremely powerful and effective in all our relationships. And relationships are the things that will determine our emotional well being, even our physical well being, because we're all so connected. So when we go on this path to understand and live a life that is more than just for ourselves, we start to really become more and more humble and reverent to the fact that we are so important to each other. But then we start to realize just the pure joy of just being our best selves and developing ourselves with that purpose. So we have to show that determination each and every choice we make. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
If you, even for a second, think it's a good idea for Apple and Google and Facebook to help you be less addicted, you are on the path of losing. You don't like Instagram? Delete it. The second we allow ourselves to let the machines help us help ourselves is the second you become more vulnerable. I believe that.
Can you explain that more?
Sure. Like, you want Apple to limit the amount of time you're on Instagram for you? Yeah. Like, you think that's the way, that's what, you want that? Mazel tov, take it. But like, I promise you, then there's gonna be the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. You're either social media is exposing us, it's not changing us. There is no social media, brother. They're empty pipes. Social media doesn't make you mean. Social media doesn't make you insecure. You're insecure. You're mean. We're getting exposed, not changed. We're addicted to human interaction. The reason the world exists in a world where we've had atomic bombs for 70 years is we like each other. We're not addicted to social media. We are interactive creatures. You're addicted to people. Cool. You don't want to be on Instagram? Go read Vogue. Knock yourself out. This is a very fun thing for me to watch evolve. People don't like being held accountable. So a lot of things, the way that these platforms claim they're addictive is the way a lot of things are addictive. Are we gonna ban pretty people? Are we gonna limit our time to watching comedy? Are we gonna limit the time we listen to music? This is the demonization, bless you, this is the demonization of technology. Let me give you a really good piece of advice. Go read the articles around the kaleidoscope. I'm being dead serious. Go Google the early articles around the kaleidoscope. You'll think you're reading about Instagram. History's got all the answers. I could not be in this program because I failed all my classes, but the one class I was good at was history, and it is the continuous framework of how I think about a lot of this stuff. Literally the articles of the Kaleidoscope are making the same arguments now. So if you have FOMO, it's because you have levels of insecurity that are raging, which has a lot more to do with the way you were parented and where you grew up and the natural DNA you were given, not Snapchat. So how do I think it's gonna play out? In its worst, our government gets disproportionately involved, which will be fine. I could care less. Just so everybody knows, I care about attention, not social media. So if we all stop doing social media, I'm gonna figure out where your eyes and ears are going. You're gonna go somewhere. We're not locking ourselves up in a room. So I don't give a Google and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok and LinkedIn can disappear off the face of the earth tomorrow, and I'd probably be the single happiest person because my most comfortable state is reacting quickly to where attention goes. I just feel bad for any human being that thinks that's gonna help them. Because they're gonna find something else to complain about or to be controlled by. This is an internal framework conversation, not an external technology conversation.
You are where you are because of you. Because of the choices you've made, because of the mindset that you have, because of the lack of accountability, you are where you are because of you. And that is a very tough message to hear, but it's also a very liberating and freeing message to hear because it's so comfortable and so easy to blame other people. We would love to blame other people. You know, it's so easy to say, well, I'm here because of my parents, you know, or I'm here because of the country that I was born in, or I'm stuck here because of the president and the policies that the president put into place. I'm here because of XYZ, whatever story happened to you, right? It's so much easier to stay stuck in blaming other people because it means we don't have to do anything. Because it means that it's not your responsibility to fix it. Like it makes sense. This is why you're stuck, right? Like, oh, well, this is why if I had this set up for me, then I of course it'd be more successful. You know, if my parents were like this, then of course it'd be more successful. It takes the accountability and the responsibility off of your shoulders. And that's a very comforting message, but it keeps you stuck. It keeps you staying exactly where you are. It keeps you in slow growth or no growth mode. Where when you can flip it to, I'm here because of me. And I will end up in a different spot because of me. That where I start right now is not where I'm gonna finish. That where I am right now is not gonna be where I end up because of the actions that I'm gonna take. One important thought that I wanna get across in this video is there is a very big difference between taking accountability and placing blame. What we wanna do is blame. We wanna blame others, and we don't wanna blame ourselves. I'm not asking you to blame yourself. Blaming doesn't do anything. Blaming is still negative thinking. Blaming is still being stuck in the past. You're sitting there, even blaming yourself. You're stuck in the past. Oh, I should have done this. How many times have you done that? How many times have you done that? I should have done this. I should have been more proactive. I should have taken that chance when I had the opportunity. I should have asked that question. I should have started that business 3 years ago. I should have, right? You're blaming yourself. That's not what this is. Taking accountability is not blaming yourself for all your past mistakes. Because if you're stuck in blaming others or blaming yourself, you stay stuck still too. You're in a really negative mindset and you stay stuck and don't do anything. That's not what this is. What this is saying, I don't want to stay stuck here. And the difference is going to be me taking accountability for my life. So how do we start to get there? Let me share a couple pointers, okay? Number one, find some heroes. Find some heroes. Chances are, whoever you look up to, whoever your hero is, whether it's Oprah Winfrey, Kevin O'Leary, Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, whoever your hero is, your hero probably started with less than what you have right now. Less money, less support, less freedom, less opportunities. They started with less than what you have right now. So how did they break free? Like, how did they get out of the situation that they were in, the bigger hole that they were in compared to the hole that you're in? How did they get out? Because that not only gives you strategy, but also gives you the hope and motivation to recognize, well, if this person could do it from a worse situation to what I'm in right now, the difference is they didn't stay stuck in the blame game. They took responsibility and they got out. You can too. Surround yourself with heroes, whether that's watching YouTube videos, whether that's reading books, listening to podcasts, but be around your heroes because they have a different mindset. Most people do not take responsibility or accountability. They don't. We don't want to because it's the harder path. We want to take the easy way out. So the people you're listening to, the people who are around you, the people who are in your life right now, likely are not the ones saying, I'm responsible for my life and I'm going to go fix it. Right? People around you are doing the opposite. They say, no, it's this person's fault. So we have to start to shift that. You have to be around your heroes more. So who are the people you look up to, you respect, you love the most, that have the mindset that you want to have, the belief that you want to have, the confidence that you want to have? Who are those people? And then surround yourself with them more. Subscribe to more YouTube channels, the right YouTube channels. Follow more people on Instagram, the right people. Like, do a real audit of the people that you're hanging out with, even virtually, right? Gary Vee or Elon Musk might not come and mentor you personally, but you can learn a lot from them, from their content, from their interviews, from their books, from their podcasts, from their shows. You can learn a lot from them if you choose to surround yourself with them. So do an audit of who you follow on Instagram, of who you follow on YouTube. Do an audit and see how many of these people make you feel better about yourself, give you hope, ambition, courage, that when you watch their stuff, you consume their stuff, you're around it, you leave feeling better. If you're scrolling through Instagram and you close it and you feel worse about yourself, it's your responsibility to fix that, because there's lots of people you could follow who give you motivation, inspiration, hope, courage, momentum, action. YouTube as well. You could dive down and watch 8 hours of YouTube and then feel terrible about yourself because you just got distracted, were entertaining yourself, you were consumed by negative content. You can switch that, unsubscribe from all those people and start to follow more channels. That's why I make so much content. Holy cow, how much content do I make every day? I don't know. Across all the channels, there's so much content, but you know what? It's always positive. It's always spreading belief. It's always filled with hope. You'll never see videos on my channel talking about how terrible somebody is, or how we should cancel this person, or how bad the world is, right? And whether you love my content, great, or somebody else is awesome, but most important is the feeling you have about yourself. Because when you're filled with hope, confidence, courage, your life totally changes. So step number one is you have to be around your heroes. Step number two to starting to take responsibility is, what's the action that you can do today? You know, what can you do today to start building some momentum? If you accept that, hey, it's not my fault where I'm at, but it's my responsibility to fix it, right? It's not your fault, it's not blame, but it's your responsibility to change it for yourself and for others. That you can change it, that you could be the one, you could be the difference maker, where this all starts to change, right? What is that immediate momentum that you need to take? Do you need to launch your own YouTube channel? Do you need to start writing your book? Do you need to create your program? Do you need to get on stage and speak? Do you need to launch that service or product? Do you need to do that collaboration? Like, what's the next step? Because the biggest thing that's missing for most people is just momentum. You've got the ideas and the heart and the drive and the love and the care and the desire to do good, and you want to serve and you want to make money and you want to build a bit. You want all these things, great, but what's the momentum that's happening? What's the next step to get you out of the hole? And then number three is just scheduling that in. Because no matter how bold and confident and ambitious you feel right now, this is a process that takes time. And you can do a lot in one day, but we tend to overestimate what we can do in a day and underestimate what we can do, in a year, or in 2 years, or in 5 years. So the difference is going to be the actual momentum that we start taking consistently. So you have one great day today, amazing. What's happening tomorrow? What's happening the next day? And it's creating a calendar that you can stay consistent on. You don't have to stay stuck. Where you are in 1 year can be a totally different spot than where you are right now. The difference is not beating yourself up, not blaming yourself for the people around you, not saying how much people screwed you over and just keep on thinking about the negative things that happened to you growing up. and instead saying, you know what? It's my responsibility to fix this. I'm taking accountability for my life, and I refuse to be stuck in the same spot 1 year from today.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
Now I like dollars, I like diamonds, I like stunning, I like shining, I like $1,000,000 deals. Where's my pen? Bitch, I'm signing. I like those Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. I like going to the Tula. I put rocks all in my watch. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance. I like proving wrong. I do what they say I can't. They call me Cardi, Cardi, banging body, spicy mommy, hot tamale, out of dinner, Molly, bird, go, Ferrari, hop up the stoop, jump in the coupe, big dip on top of the roof, flexing on as hard as I can, eating halal, driving a lamb. So that bitch, I'm sorry though, got my coins like Mario. Yeah, they call me Cardi B, I run this like cardio. I'm in district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang, 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 gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name? I need the dollars to change, beat it up like piñata. Tell the jobs, close the curtains. That chick make you nervous.
Chambean, chambean, pero no jalan. Tú compras todas las Jolambo, a mí me las regalan. I spend in the club, what you have in the bank. This is the new religion bank, el Latino gang. Yeah, está toda servieta, pero es que en el closet tengo mucha grasa. Ya mudé la Gucci pa' dentro de casa, yeah. A ti no te conocen ni en plaza. El diablo me llama, pero Jesucristo me abraza. Guerrero como Eddie, que viva la raza, yeah. Me gustan boricua, me gustan cubana. Me gusta el acento de la colombiana. Como me ve la dominicana. Lo rico que me chinga la venezolana. Andamos activos, perico, pim, pim. Billetes de 100 en el maletín. Que retumbe el bajo y Valentín, yeah. Aquí prohibido amar, dile charitín. Que per pico le tengo claritín. Yo llego a la disco y se forma el motín.
Diamond district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang, 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 gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name? I need the dollars to change, beat it up like piñata. Tell the jobs, close the curtains. That chick make you nervous.
Como Celia Cruz tengo el azúcar. Tú que va medio y se fue de pecho como Ginny Luca. Te vamos a tumbar la peluca y arranca pa'l que carajo. Que a ti no te va a pasar la boca. Mi tele y Valenciaga me reciben en la entrada. Pa, sí, like I'm Lady Gaga. Y no te me hagas, que en cover de Billboard tú has visto mi cara. No salgo de tu mente, donde quiera que viajes, he escuchado mi gente. Ya no soy high, soy como el testa rosa. Soy el que se la vive y también el que la goza. Es la cosa, mami es la cosa. El que mira sufre y el que toca goza. I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that.
I said it like that. Diamond district in the chain. Serve by, you know I'm gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome, what's his name? Yeah.
Feel the power of your determination taking control of your breathing. Feel the power of your presence, your gift, right now in this moment. Now think about you doing your best today on all the exercises we do together in the gym of life. See, we are so powerful, we get to think, create, imagine in our minds, and make real in the world. And that goes with everything. The way we do our exercises to the best of our ability is the same way we can do anything to the best of our ability. All right, good morning, determination. How's everyone today? Here we are again, another day in the gym of life. Again, circumstances may not be ideal. Perhaps this is not exactly where we want to be right now, but we're going to make the best of it. So let's do this together. Here we go. When I say go, we're going to start jogging on the spot. Or if you want, you can simply do your best walk on the spot. Okay? Here we go together. And go. Always doing our best with whatever we got, whatever we've been given. The gym of life is everywhere, never ends. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever your situation is, if you're here right now watching this video, we are together, we are united, mind and body. All right, let's feel that body warming up, the blood starting to flow. Keep going, almost there. And stop. All right. Walking back and forth, side to side, within the space that you have, or simply walking on the spot if that's all the space you have. Again, feel the power of you regaining control of your breathing. Showing your body who's boss. Showing your mind who's boss. The way we take control of that breathing, same way we can take control of our lives. One breath at a time, one thought at a time. All right, everyone, let's do some shoulder rolls. Here we go. Shoulder rolls, 10 forward. And backwards. Again, feel the pure joy of you, your presence, your being right here, right now. Feel the gratitude that you can show for being able to move your body. All right, arm circles forward, arm circles forward. 10 forward. And backwards. All right, okay, hands on our hips, bend our knees, and let's side stretch. 5 on each side. Keep those knees bent. All right, and let's twist our bodies. 5 on each side again. Feet flat on the floor. Just twisting our hips. All right, let's do 5 push-ups, everyone. That's 5 push-ups. Here we go. If you got to keep your knees down on the ground, you can do that. Okay, 5 sit-ups. All right, let's do 5 squats. Here we go. Best 5 squats ever. All the way down, all the way up. Good. All right, let's do lunges. 3 on each side. Arms out. Okay, let's do 10-second planks. Belly's knees off the ground. All right, good, everyone. Excellent. And stand up. And let's reach for the ceiling or the sky, wherever we are. Here we go. On your toes. Hold it for 10 seconds. Feel the power of you reaching. Doing your best, no matter what. All right. And let's reach for our toes. Straight knees. Again, it's okay if you don't touch your toes, just reach. Safely, without hurting yourself. You should just feel a pull. You shouldn't feel pain. Okay, come on back up. And let's work on our balance. Grab one leg. Find that balance. Bend the other knee if you have to. And pull back your heel towards your body. Pull that thigh back. Hold it for 10 seconds. Feel the power of you finding your balance right now. And switch. The other one. Feel the power of all of us together in this moment, united, doing our best together on these stretches and exercises. All right, and switch. This time hug your knee, the other side. And work hard to find that balance. Think about what you're doing. Hold it there for 10 seconds. Okay, and switch. The other one. Again, bend the other knee as you pull one up and hug the one knee. Okay, good. All right, and let's sit down. Let's do our V-shaped stretch by reaching for the floor as far away from your body as you can. Hold it for 10. And reach for one side. Hold it there. And switch to the other side. Okay, feet together and gently push knees down with your elbows. Hold it there. Again, enjoy fully process of what we're doing. Working on our bodies and working on our mind. Every stroke, every movement, every thought. Okay, one leg forward, one leg back. Keep the knee on the ground, go as far back as you can. And switch, other side. As far back as you can, hold that knee down. Always reach. Going for a little bit more than you did last time. Alright, okay, and legs crossed. Actually, before we do that, let's roll onto our bellies. And let's push the floor and look up at the sky or ceiling. Hold it for 10. Here we go. Alright, and now legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Focused on our breathing. Tapping into that power. That power to see first in your mind what you want to bring out into the world. That's our determination, our greatest power ever. Always available to us. So right now I'm going to see myself doing the best I can to hold the plank position for one song, and then the best I can to hold my side plank positions for the rest of the other song. 2 songs today for me. What about you? What are you going to see in your mind? What exercise are you going to visualize right now? You visualize yourself doing your best dance, your best jog, your best squats, your best sit-ups, your best jumping jacks, whatever it is. See it in your mind right now before you bring it out into the world. Okay, here I go, plank position, holding it as long as I can. Here we go. What about you? What are you working on right now? Whatever you're doing, do it to the best of your ability and feel the joy. Feel the power of you loving what you're doing right now. That's why I love the gym of life. It goes wherever we go. Whether we're at school, whether we're at work, at home, we have that power. We have that power to control our minds, to do our best on whatever it is we're doing. Whether it's a plank, whether it's sitting down, your legs crossed, your back straight, meditating, whether it's reading a book, whether it's being your best and kind to your friends, your family, do it with everything you got, with every part of your being. You were born to do that. No matter what's going on around you, you control what goes on inside your mind, and therefore what goes on in your body. Always remember your breathing. Control your breathing. I love the joy of feeling that moment when it comes, when my body wants to quit, when the discomfort is getting to be too much. And then I stand in that space, I get to determine it. I get to choose. I get to make the winning choice. That's determination. To keep going as much as I can, a little bit more than last time. My feel my muscles achy, trembling. But I get to choose. No, I get to determine. I get to make the winning choice of not giving up, no matter what. And if I do choose and lose, I give up, I get to come back again and again. Every single time. It's the same power you have. We all have. No matter what. Alrighty. Proud of my effort there. Next song, I'm gonna hold the side plank position for one side and then side planks for the other side. So we're gonna hold it. How about you? You proud of your effort so far? Keep going, everybody. Keep going. Keep moving. Moving is winning. Doing our best is winning. Wherever we are, whatever we're doing. That's the gym of life. Here we go. You can feel free to do what I'm doing, or again, if you want to decide to do something else, something that you want to improve on from last time, an exercise, whatever it is, keep doing it, keep going, do your best, try to do a little bit better than last time. That's your determination. You get to use it wherever you go, wherever you are. You get to determine, you get to win, make the winning, accurate, kind, peaceful, loving, positive choice to keep going, to keep finding out how unlimited you really are. So I'm just trying to hold my my body in a plank position with my one elbow down, other arm on the side of my body, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm lifted off the ground. The other side too. That'll be my exercise for today. How about you? Keep going, whatever you're doing. You're dancing, you're doing jumping jacks, doing push-ups, sit-ups, squats, whatever it is, keep going. Other side now. Try to hold it for the duration of the song. If not, I'm gonna keep going. Even if I fall down or stop, get right back up and keep going. Always do my best, always seeking and striving for my best, for our best. The more I do my best, the more I believe others around me want to do their best. And that goes for you. That's how powerful we are. You doing your best right now, wherever you are, whatever exercise you're doing, that's the same process that other people can be inspired by. Really simple. Just live. Be your best. Be your true being. Don't let negativity, don't let fear, don't let the pain, the discomfort stop you forever. Keep going. Find out your pure joy, your happiness. All through your body and your mind, together as one. Song's not over. Gotta get back up, gotta keep moving. Let's do the other side. You too, keep going until the music stops. Don't stop, keep going. Alright, excellent job. And let's bring it back. Let's connect our breathing. to our mind, to our energy. To our energy of determination. That's right. We determine. We don't choose and lose, give up, believe lies, give in to fear. We don't do that. We don't give in to anxiety, stress, things that are not the truth of who we are. The way you did your best today, whatever exercises, stretches you chose to do, it's the same process you get to use here, now, wherever you go. In the gym of life, you get to grow your mind. You get to grow your mind health and your mind wealth. It's all possible if you determine, make the winning choice to be kind, to be peaceful, caring, loving, appreciative, grateful for everything you have here and now. I'm so grateful for my breath right now. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for our being, what we all truly are. I'm proud of my effort today, and I hope you are proud of yours. Because that effort, that process, that determination you use, it's available to you all the time. It's your greatest gift. So don't ever give up on using your determination to be your true, kind, positive, loving self. To control your own mind, no matter what is going on outside of it. You are infinitely intelligent, powerful beyond measure, and you get to work now more than ever. Your own mind, your own body, your own energy. Making yourself better now so that you can be better forever. I love you, everyone. Have a great week. Have a great day. Enjoy your life every moment, no matter what. We are united always. Love you guys.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and like Bruce Lipton says,
we are the most powerful beings and entities on this planet. We want to get out of the box? Think out of the box.
so let's help you get out of your box with Bruce Lipton and my take on his top 10 rules for success.
I love it. Thank you.
Need motivation?
Watch the top 10 with Believe Nation.
Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Change your beliefs.
You want to change the world? We don't have to physically go out and physically change the world first. First, we have to change our belief about the world, our belief of who we are in the world. We're not victims, but we've been programmed to believe we're frail, vulnerable, that we're victims of the world. And the fact is, no, we are the most powerful beings and entities on this planet. We want to get out of the box? Think out of the box, and that will change all of it.
Rule number 2, live in harmony.
Sleep is the elixir of life.
we would see from a new understanding of evolution, which is a great extension beyond the Darwinian belief, which is quite limiting, okay, and quite troublesome, in fact. Because just think about what the principal Darwinian belief is, that evolution is based on a struggle for survival with a competition for fitness. So that says, oh my God, then our world is, we're all out there in a dog-eat-dog rat race trying to survive, because if you stop running, the person behind you is going to run over you. So if that's your way of life, then every day, by definition, you are living in a stress hormone body because of all the fears that we have. And yet evolution says, no, evolution is based on community and cooperation. A body has 50 trillion citizens. They live in harmony with each other. And it turns out that every human being, we're beginning to find out, is like a cell in a larger community called humanity. So in biological terms, the organism that's evolving on the planet is not the human being. We already did that. The organism that's evolving is the superorganism called human civilization. And right now, humans are fighting each other and killing each other. And if I say, well, what would that look like inside the body if the cells fight each other and kill each other? And I say, oh, well, that's called autoimmune disease, self-destruction. And autoimmune disease can kill you from the inside.
And that's on the increase, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, because our biological lives are complements to the environment.
Yeah.
The more stress and more violence on the outside, the more that's taken inside in biology and converted to disruption and disharmony of your own cellular internal community. If you can create a honeymoon for yourself while you're in love, and everyone started to create a honeymoon for themselves, then all of a sudden the concept of war and violence would disappear, because if everybody's in love and everybody's in harmony and everybody's so excited by being here, then the competition and violence that we live by because of today's beliefs would disappear.
Rule number 3, study physics.
As you understand the terms quantum physics and quantum mechanics, or Newtonian physics and Newtonian mechanics, what you see is that physics and mechanics are synonyms. So physics really means the mechanisms by which the universe operates. And the new physics, quantum physics, was something that I really wasn't into, nor were any of my colleagues in the medical school. We were all trained in Newtonian physics. And the difference between the two is very profound. Newtonian physics says the world that we live in, the universe we live in, is a machine made out of mechanical parts. If you want to understand how it works, take it apart, study the pieces, change the operation. That's the basis of medicine. We look at a human body, it's a machine made out of physical parts. When it's not working right, change the parts by buying chemicals and drugs. And that's the way that conventional medicine operates. When I started to read the quantum physics, I realized, oh my goodness, the whole foundation of the universe is not based on a mechanical, physical universe. It's based on the invisible energy called the field. So let's say if I hold a magnet right here in front of you, and you can see the magnet, but what you can't see is the invisible magnetic field. And so what it says is, well, we are physical things in our world, like physical bodies. We're immersed in fields, electromagnetic fields, magnetic fields itself, all kinds of fields like telephone, cell phone fields, television fields, radio fields, whole ranges. What is the difference between the Newtonian physics and quantum physics is this. Newtonian physics focus on the particles. Quantum physics says, you want to understand why the particles take this shape? Then you have to understand the field. It's the field that controls biology. It's the invisible forces. There's a great quote by Albert Einstein, and it's simple. It goes, the field is the sole governing agency of the particle. In other words, in the world of invisible things, fields, and particles, matter, it's the field that gives shape to the matter. And this is the basis of quantum physics. This becomes relevant. It says, okay, here's the physical particles of my body. Why are they in a healthy state, or why could they be in a sick state? That's the physical expression. And the answer is, well, to understand that, don't look at the body. You have to understand the invisible forces in the field. It's fun, because if you think about it, when you were young, at some point you must have had like iron filings and sprinkled it around a magnet, and all of a sudden you saw the iron filings form that pattern of the magnetic field. Well, quantum physics would look at this pattern and try to explain how come all the iron filings fell in this pattern without recognizing that the field exists. In other words, can you explain why the iron filings have this shape if you don't recognize the magnetic field? And the answer is absolutely not. What's the nature of it? The body and its cells are like iron filings. Medicine is trying to understand the nature of the body by looking at the iron filings. And quantum physics says, if you don't understand that invisible field, you can't understand what's happening in the body.
Rule number 4, install new behaviors.
Introducing SpeechAlone, the most natural sounding text-to-speech software on the market. Hey.
The cells in your body are covered up by the skin, disconnected from the environment. But in order to survive, these cells have to adjust their genetics and their behavior to adapt and maintain their survival in a changing environment. So the question is, then how do the cells inside your body actually know what's going on in the real world because they're not connected to it? I go, this is the role of the nervous system. The nervous system's job is to read environmental signals and then relay those signals into the cell. So as illustrated right here, we are getting signals from two different environments in our body. Signals from within our body as well as signals from without our body, and the function of the nervous system is to read both of these environments. The relevance is the nervous system reads the information in the environment and then translates it into signals that are sent to the 50 trillion cells inside your body to alert them to what is going on in that world. So, in fact, that is a true statement. The environment is controlling the behavior of your cells. But the mind does an interpretation of those signals based on our life experiences. Now, for a lot of people, this seems difficult, but let's put it in a different context because we can talk about computers. There's a very interesting fact about our brain as a computer because it has an autocorrect mechanism built into the subconscious. Meaning what? Well, I can have my conscious mind like typing on the computer about what's going on in the world. But if I type something, that signal can be translated and sent to the cells. But if I type something that the subconscious has no recognition of, it will do like an autocorrect and change what I wrote to fit something that it thinks that I wrote as a subconscious. So I put in love and subconscious changes that to live. That's a whole different meaning at this point because of misinterpretation. So the point is, your wishes and desires of your conscious mind are filtered by the programs in your subconscious mind. And if you have a wish or desire that doesn't conform to a program that already exists, then the subconscious mind's job is to retranslate that into something that makes sense for the subconscious belief, not for the conscious. So we may have wonderful wishes and desires, and if it doesn't conform to the programs that we receive, the subconscious will change those into something it understands. To make sense out of what I just said, consider using your cell phone. That you write something in your cell phone such as, let's put the word epigenetics in the cell phone. And I go, when I type epigenetics in, the database in the phone says, I don't know that word at all. And then what does it do? It throws up different options that could be closely related to epigenetics. And so the significance is, if I put something into my system that is not supported by the program, then the programming system will change whatever I did to accommodate what it believes is right. Now, the issue about this is, well, if I want to have epigenetics in my phone, then what I really have to do is open up my dictionary and add the word epigenetics. And now after that, anytime I write epigenetics, the phone mechanism will understand what I'm talking about. Well, going into the database and changing the program is the function of what energy psychology is all about. It says if your behavior is not conforming to your wishes and desires, then it will be necessary to go into your program and install new behaviors that you want to manifest. So now the brain will have a reflection or a resource of what you're talking about. So I really want to emphasize the nature of biology belief as different than the fact that just environment controls your genes. And I'll give you a very simple example of what I mean by that, by the fact that I can have two people in the very exact same environment, but each of these individuals has a totally different reaction to the environment. So if it was just environment that controlled your genes and your behavior, then both individuals should have exact same behavior. But the reality is no. The two people have different responses to the environment. I go, why? Same environment.
The way we work has changed. Our teams are now, well, everywhere. We have
But their minds have different interpretations. And it's the interpretation of the mind about that environment that is sent to the cells. So the important part is this. Yes, environment controls epigenetics. There's an external environment, but an internal environment. And yet recognize in humans, the internal environment is not a direct readout from the external world. It's an interpretation of that external world. And that's why each of us has a different response to the world in which we live. And that is why the biology of belief is an extension of the foundation that environment controls epigenetics.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5, reprogram your mind.
You can change the programming. You can rewrite your subconscious programs. And why is that relevant? If you took the wishes and desires of the conscious mind and used that as a program to put the beliefs into the subconscious mind, it's the most exciting and liberating thing you can ever do in your life. You know why? Because once it's in the subconscious program, 95% of the day, without you even thinking about it, your mind will take you to that direction. And that is your freedom.
Rule number 6, rise above the noise.
Everybody's mind is like a tuning fork, because actually you can read brain activity from outside your head with a new thing called magnetoencephalograph. Most people are familiar with electroencephalograph, put wires on your head and read your brain function.
Okay, yeah.
The new one, magnetoencephalograph, they put a probe out here, and they can read your brain function from outside. Well, it's a very important point. He says, well, if you're reading my brain function from outside, then what am I doing? I must be broadcasting my brain function. So all of us are like tuning forks. But if we're all out of tune, then there's a tendency for even a tuning fork that tries to stay in tune will be pushed out of tune by something we call entrainment. And the issue is, how can you survive in this world? And the answer is you must essentially detach yourself from this field around you, not be taken in by the stories, not buy into the fear, not to buy into the threats on our existence, to start to recognize, look, we are creating these lives. If you buy other people's creation, then you manifest what they're creating. If you want what you want, then you have to not get engaged. And the more conscious you become, the less you are affected by the outside fields. And so this rising consciousness that we're seeing is the evolution of humanity to rise above the noise of the background and recognize you're the creator.
Rule number 7, engage the record button.
I just aced another listing appointment. Come ride with me, I'll tell you all about it.
We also bought this, and it's not true, that there's somebody in the subconscious. Meaning, if my conscious finds my subconscious engaging in some behavior that's not supporting it, then my conscious is talking to myself, and my conscious is saying, Bruce, God, that was stupid. You could do better than that. And you're having this inner dialogue, and you're talking to yourself and being very upset about the fact that your behavior seems to be out of control. Who are you talking to? And I love this because the reality is we're thinking we're talking to ourselves, and that's going to fix something. And what is it going to fix? Well, the program's in that subconscious. And here's where the problem lies. Subconscious is a tape player. There's nobody in there. The same exact truth holds in this case. Get a tape player, put a cassette tape in it, push play, the program's running, and you don't like the programming, so here's what I want you to do. Go up and talk to the tape player. Go up and talk to it. Suggest that it change the program. Even tell it what you want it to play. Do all this, and then you realize the program still plays, it doesn't change, and then you get more upset with yourself. Why? Because you've asked this program to change, it's not changing yet. Then you get mad at yourself, you start yelling at yourself, and now you're berating yourself because you can't control the tape. Then that doesn't work, and then of course the last step, you have to bring God in, because obviously you tried to change your life and it didn't work, so only God has to come in here now and change the tape. And the joke is, how much talking to a tape player does it take before the tape changes? And the answer is, you can talk till you're blue in the face and it will not change. It's not that you can't change the tape, but you have to learn how to push the record button. And then you can record new programs in the subconscious. But our old belief system, like conventional psychology, let's go over and find out why my life is this way. Oh yeah, my mom did this to me, and my dad did this, and my friends did this, and now I make a whole list of all the reasons why my life is this way. I'm very clear. My conscious mind's got, oh my God, I could play that movie. I can see it. And the question is, now that you're aware, did it change the tape player? And the answer is no. And that's why people get so upset. They go through all of this psychology, counseling and stuff. They know all the reasons. They still have the same life. So the issue is, you want to make change? Then you have to learn how to engage the tape player in a record mode and not just talk to it.
Rule number 8, give love.
Being a biologist, I want to talk about a different aspect of service, but it's the same thing, because my dear friend Savaji was talking about service and how we can influence the world around us. I want to give you an interesting biological insight about your own personal consequence of being in service. And basically, it has to deal with the DNA in your cells. I say, what does that mean? I say, well, the DNA is the genetic code. I say, and every time the cell divides, you have to copy that code. And so if I can try to make an image with my hand here, imagine my arm is the DNA. And I say it's time to copy it. There's a protein, so let's say the microphone, okay, thank you, that my hand is the copying device. It's like a train on a railroad track. As the train moves down the DNA, it leaves behind a copy of the DNA it just rode over. I say, well, that's really cool, except guess what? When the train gets to the end of the DNA, it can't copy the part where the train is sitting on it. So it copied everything all the way up to here, but can't copy this piece. So when I copy it, the new piece is shorter than the original piece. And so every time the cell divides, the DNA gets a little shorter than it did before. And I say, well, why is this relevant? Because if you make a shorter piece of DNA when you copy it, then every time you're copying it, you're interfering with the genetic code. So it's like, well, nature would say, oh my God, if every time the cell divides, pretty soon I'll chop that DNA up and I'll have a problem. But nature, of course, being quite intelligent, adds a piece of DNA at the end that is not the gene. It's just an extension. It's called a telomere. You may have heard the word telomere. And I say, what is it? It's an extra railroad track, but it's not the genes. And I say, why is it relevant? Because every time I copy it, I lose a piece of the telomere, but I didn't cut into the genes. And I say, well, what's aging all about? And here's what we now know. Aging, depression, and disease result when you copy the DNA so many times that you run out of that track of telomere, and the next time you copy, you're cutting off the gene, which interferes with your biology. So originally it was thought, oh, the telomeres have a fixed length, and every time it divides, you lose a piece of the length, and the scientist back in the 60s, Leonard Hayflick, calculated how many times can a cell divide before it runs out of telomere? And it came out, oh, it was about 50 to 60 cell divisions. I say, well, why is that relevant? Because our stem cells, which keep us alive, when they keep dividing, what happens after your stem cells went through 50 cell divisions? Now your stem cells won't work anymore, and now you can't replace your cells in your body. And that's when they said, oh, humans have a given lifetime. 90, 100 years at max. And that's your lifetime because that's when you run out of telomeres. That was very depressing because it says, oh my God, if I'm under stress, I actually cut the telomeres even faster. The more stress you're under, the more they disappears. Now, and it was because of, again, a woman scientist, because they always come up with the neat stuff that the men are not looking at. A woman scientist found there was an enzyme called telomerase, telomerase. And I say, what's that enzyme? It adds the length of the telomere. So as the cells are dividing, if you can activate this enzyme, it will extend the telomeres so the cells have a relatively unlimited lifespan. And so the relevance is the belief that we only live 100 years is mainly a consequence of not being able to continue to extend the telomeres in a normal person. So they started to find out, well, what influences the telomere? Well, the biggest thing is lack of love. If you have a lack of love, the feedback will shut off the telomerase enzyme. If you have stress in your life, stress shuts off the enzyme. If you have no gratitude or appreciation of life, it shuts off the enzyme. Why? Well, if you don't like life, then why give you extra life? That's what the enzyme is just responding. But now it comes down to the opposites of those. Love and self-love, which is most critical, is one of the big drivers of telomerase. Gratitude and joy of being in this world enhances the enzyme. Why? If you love the world, you want more, and the cells will give you more. But now, and it's a beautiful question, the most important contributor to telomerase activity is service. That you are doing something on this planet, you have a mission to do something, and that your nervous system is telling your cells, I'm not ready to go, I have a job to do. And caregivers, for example, live an extraordinarily longer, healthier life than other people. Why? A caregiver's mentality is, I have to service and help these people, and therefore I cannot leave yet, and I have to be healthy. The feedback from the nervous system to the cells activates telomerase. So the simple line is this: if we have a mission and we have something to do on this planet, you will activate telomerase. Service is one of the primary things. So it says if you're just meandering through the earth, nice, you're going to end around 90. But if you're in service to the world, you can extend your life. And right now, biologists somewhat agree that our minimum lifespan is 140 years.
Rule number 9, marry the positivity with the subconscious.
Sleep is the elixir of life.
Medical science has revealed that from 1/3 to 2/3, which is significant, of all healing, whether it's drug-related or surgery or whatever healing process, the healing didn't come about from the process. The healing came about because the person believed the process was going to heal them. So if I give you this brand new drug and it's purple colored because that makes it really special, you know, and it's funny because there is a drug, a purple drug, and they said, it's purple. And everybody's like, oh, wow, that's got to be special. But people believe that the drug holds this effect. And you give a person this drug, and all of a sudden they heal themselves, and they say, yeah, the drug did it. And then you tell them later, but it was just a sugar pill. That healing didn't come from the drug. It came from the belief in the drug. So the belief in healing is what heals you.
So it comes back to the mind again, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's again the power of belief. In this case, it's a very positive belief that this procedure, drug, or whatever is going to heal me. But what people haven't talked about, because everyone knows about the placebo effect, is that the placebo effect is based on a positive thinking. What is the consequence of negative thinking? Well, science has a term for it, but it hasn't really come out in the public. It's called the nocebo effect. And the nocebo effect has been revealed by science that a negative thought can not only make you ill, but a negative thought could also kill you. You can be scared to death in a real sense, okay? And why is that important? Because it turns out it's not just the positive thought of a placebo that's influential. The negative thought works the same way with the same power, but in the opposite direction. So basically, it's not placebo, nocebo. It comes down simply this: it's the power of thought. And a positive thought will move you in a healing direction, and a negative thought will move you into an illness direction. But before I get off that topic, I don't want people to go out there in the audience and go, oh, one of those positive thinking kind of guys. And it's like, it's more than just positive thinking. It's a commitment and an intention of positive thinking. It also really needs the support of your subconscious belief. Because if your subconscious belief is going, oh, that new age weirdo stuff, if that's what your subconscious is programmed to believe, and yet your conscious mind is the one that says, I will think positive thoughts, and I go back to the data. Only 5% of your life is coming from the conscious mind. So if you're only entertaining a positive thought with your conscious mind, you're only contributing 5% of that to your life. 95% of your life is still coming from the subconscious. And if the subconscious doesn't hold those beliefs, then you're actually fighting yourself and not likely to realize the expression of a positive thought.
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is do not fear.
You have to wake up to the reality, folks, that you're all a bunch of weak and vulnerable people when it comes to what's outside there. The sky is literally falling. Reports from Australia have come in that everybody that walked outside their survival shelter was literally crushed by the sky as it came down upon them. The once beautiful and green hills of the countryside have become a barren wasteland, not to mention a band of unruly sorcerers have bewitched the land. There are even reports of animals taking up arms, walking on 2 legs. Be afraid, everyone. This is something we could never anticipate. It is my job to keep you informed of all the latest horrible things going on out there. I'm just trying to protect you.
I can't take any more of this. I can't watch this anymore. Oh. No more water. No more food. How am I going to survive in here? But I can't go out there. I can't survive in here. I can't survive out there. What am I going to do?
Introducing Speechalo, the most natural sounding text-to-speech software on the market. Hey.
Meet Bruce Lipton, portrait of a man paralyzed by fear. The lowly cellular biologist has been hiding away in his survival shelter for more days than he can count. And the apparent terror that reigns outside the doors of his rusty shed presents a limitless degree of terror in his mind. However, there is one problem that takes center stage on this inauspicious day. Bruce has run out of food and water. The question of how to survive in a state of chronic protection lingers ever so greatly. What you are about to witness is a strange sort of mortal combat between a man and his beliefs. In the Twilight Zone, you are entering a new reality of mind. Unlock your potential with the key of imagination. A realm of ever-changing perceptions. A world of quantum physics, beliefs, and miracles. You have just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
I've got no more water, and I've got no more food. I can't survive by staying in protection. In order to survive, I have to go out because I can grow on the outside. And I can't go out there because there's so many scary things out there that can threaten my life. But wait a minute. It was in quantum physics. Yes, quantum physics, the most valid science on this planet. Here it is. Consciousness is creating our life experiences. Wow. I have to have a different consciousness. I can't be afraid because the stress shuts off my immune system and the stress shuts down my growth and maintenance of my body. I have to change that consciousness. I can't be in fear. I have to recognize how powerful I am. I am a co-creator of the world. I am strong. I am healthy. I have to maintain this as a way of life, a belief system before I go out there. But now that I'm aware, I no longer fear going out there.
The world can often present us with a frightening reality, but sometimes the fear we experience only exists in our minds. And now for Bruce, fear only exists in the Twilight Zone.